This is a stunning theft that happened at one of the world's most famous museums in broad daylight. Thieves smashed an upstairs window at the Louvre in Paris yesterday while tourists wandered nearby. Burglars made off with priceless jewels and actually still at large. Elizabeth Palmer is in Paris. Elizabeth, good morning.
Good morning. This crime is all anybody's talking about here in Paris today. Not only the sheer audacity of it, but the fact that the Louvre that you can see behind me is something of a fortress, and people are stunned that it proved so vulnerable. It was a heist in plain sight. The thieves parked a mobile ladder against the wall of the Louvre at 9 on Sunday morning. Then police say they broke this window and made straight for the sumptuous Apollo Gallery, where France's crown jewels are on display. It took them 7 minutes and a circular saw to steal 9 priceless objects, including a pearl and diamond tiara made for Napoleon III's wife, Eugenie, and a whole sapphire-studded set. David Chanteron is an art historian who's worked in the Louvre.
What will the thieves do with the pieces they've robbed?
It's very difficult to know what's happened after this moment.
It's possible, he says, the robbery was a special order for a private collector, but more likely the treasures will be broken up and the gems sold. All that is, except this crown. The robbers dropped it in the street as they made their getaway.
Wasn't the glass in the display cabinets reinforced somehow?
Incredibly, he says, it wasn't. After the robbery, tourists were ushered to the exits, many disappointed not to see the star attraction here, the Mona Lisa, though not Jim and Joan Carpenter from California.
It's great. This is our last day of a long trip, and this is the most exciting part today.
There are hundreds of tourists back here again this morning, anxious to see the scene of the crime, but they won't be allowed in. The museum has just confirmed that it will be closed all day for a second day while that police investigation gears up. Gayle?
Liz, it does sound like something out of Ocean's 11. Was George Clooney on the scene? It's an amazing story. Thank you.
I wish.
Yes. We are learning more about the shocking art heist at the Louvre Museum in Paris. It all happened in less than 8 minutes on Sunday in broad daylight. And the thieves, guess what? They are still on the run. Elizabeth Palmer's in Paris with the very latest. Elizabeth, good morning to you. A lot of people still can't believe there has not been an arrest in this case. Major, major security breach.
Yeah, we're hearing from some experts. They expect the criminals will be caught, but the jewels won't be recovered. We'll have to see. There are many people down here at the Louvre, in spite of the fact that it's closed, but it's always closed on a Tuesday. Nevertheless, crowds have gathered to have a look at what is essentially a spectacular crime scene. The police found plenty of evidence under the thieves' ladder, including a power saw, gloves, and a walkie-talkie, as well as gasoline. Apparently, they'd wanted to burn their tools, but didn't have time. The robbers wanted France's crown jewels, priceless in historical terms, but broken up and sold on the black market, still worth multi-millions. This heist is a tragedy and a national embarrassment. Tourists were stunned.
You know, you think in the Louvre, of all places, don't they have like the best security on the planet?
In fact, they don't have the best security on the planet, and that's kicked off a huge blame game in France.
What were the main weak points?
Everything.
A recent security audit noted that 35% of the rooms in the Denon wing, where the jewels were, have no security cameras. And France's justice minister admitted the glass on the cases wasn't strong enough. The thieves were able to cut right through it.
C'est que nous avons failli.
We have failed, he said.
How useful is the evidence going to be? Is it likely these guys are in any kind of a database?
If they are professional, yes, they are all known. If they are amateur or in the middle, it may be a little more complicated. What I think is we will catch them. I don't think we will catch the jewels.
Now, you may be asking yourself why thieves, if they wanted gems, would have targeted the Louvre as opposed to, say, a high-end jewelry store. But experts are telling us this morning that it's because jewelry stores tend to be better protected than a lot of France's old museums, Gayle.
Something tells me that's going to change. Elizabeth Palmer in Paris, we thank you.
We are joined by a special agent with the FBI's art crime team, Dave Bass. He is the co-founder of the Art Legacy Institute, which works to safeguard artistic legacy. Dave, good morning. I have to start you off. I mean, this is obviously a very stunning heist. It feels like it's out of a movie. You have been to the Louvre. So what does the security look like there?
Well, certainly the security there is very complicated. It's a massive, anyone that's been there immediately knows that it's a massive museum, and certainly it's one of the most challenging museums in the world to have a secure area.
Dave, what happens to these jewels now?
So that's a great question. You know, a lot of people's main concern, and my concern is that, you know, it's going to be taken apart, potentially melted down and split up. I remain optimistic, however, that it's going to be maintained together, kept together, and that we might be looking at some sort of ransom scenario or negotiation scenario. I think that would be the best outcome, because obviously in any of these types of cases, your primary concern, in addition to catching those responsible and holding them accountable, is the safe return of that cultural property.
Based on your expertise, I mean, we heard a little bit from French authorities over the past 2 days and in Liz's piece. How would they be going about investigating this?
So this is just like any major crime. You know, it depends largely on great detective work. And I think the French authorities are more than capable of doing that. I mean, as you've seen in some of the footage, there was an extensive use of crime scene personnel looking for trace evidence. So you're going to really focus in on any of those potential trace elements or trace evidence elements that may have been left at the crime scene. In addition, you're going to interview witnesses. You're going to review security footage from the area. You're going to review and analyze their possible escape route, which directions they went, where they may have gone. So it's just basic detective work that's going to be crucial in this case. And I think also importantly, are going to be tips from the public. So the French authorities are going to have to take all those tips, run them to ground, and put all the pieces together, if you will, in order to see accurately what may have happened here.
Yeah, and we'll see. If they put the pieces together, the pieces might be coming home. Dave Bass, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
We've got more now on the shocking heist at the world's most visited museum. The thieves, as you know, broke into the Louvre Museum on Paris on Sunday in broad daylight. Just 30 minutes after the museum opened, it took them 80 minutes to get in and get out. French officials say they used a basket lift to reach a window before smashing display cases, taking priceless jewels, and fleeing the scene within minutes. So, does it seem like something from a novel? We are joined now by best-selling novelist, author Dan Silva. He knows about these things. Why? Because he's written more than 24 books, many featuring art thefts. His latest book is called An Inside Job. It's a mystery about a robbery at the Vatican. So we figured, somebody get Daniel on the phone. Help us sort this all out. But Daniel, welcome back. It's always good to see you. But
good morning. I wish we didn't have to talk about this morning, but it's lovely to see you.
Oh, we feel the same about you. But I'm curious, when you first heard the news, are you thinking, did they read one of my books? What were your thoughts when you read this?
No, I was. I think like everyone, you know, I happened to be on the West Coast and saw that first flash very early in the morning. And, you know, the first reaction is, wow, you know, this is spectacular. But it took me about 2 minutes to realize that this is really a tragedy on so many different levels. And I think that, you know, the most worrisome aspect of it is the degree to which it exposed the vulnerabilities of the Louvre. You know, you had this American couple in the first segment in the taped piece talking about, you know, isn't it the most secure place in the world? And the answer is quite frankly no. The security is obsolete in there and very vulnerable. And these guys were very, very good.
Are you surprised that they're still on the run?
Not at all. I mean,
No.
I guess to me, the most worrisome aspect of what the police have said thus far is that these are organized crime figures. And we don't call it organized crime for no reason. We call it organized crime because they are organized. We should assume that these people know how to handle stolen jewelry. They might even have links from their organization into the jewelry trade itself. They know how to do this with every passing hour, and I mean that hour. The likelihood that we're going to get this stuff back recedes.
So Daniel, I have two questions here. Where do the museums go from here? Are they going to turn themselves into airports? That's one side of the equation. But then also, where do the thieves go from here? Is there an underground black market for selling this stuff intact, or are they going to melt it down, you think? Take either or both.
First question first. I mean, this is the balance in museum security. I mean, and you use the exact appropriate analogy there. Do we want a museum to be like an airport? Do we want armed museum guards? The guards at the Louvre are not armed for a reason. Their first responsibility is not to protect the artwork, but the people. So they're working on getting them out of the way, and then of course the French police serve as the ones with the guns and try to apprehend the thieves themselves. So it's like most things in life, it's a balance. Look, there's a trend in museum heists toward staying away from paintings that are much harder to move and going after objects like this. That can be repackaged, as it were, and broken down and melted and slipped onto the market that way. This is worth millions of dollars, even at black market prices. I mean, this is a big score, and there are very few things in life that you can steal that are worth $1 million or so.
Ooh. Daniel, it occurs to me that writing books about art theft would be a wonderful cover for being an art.
I've obviously written a number of books about this, and each time a painting or something like this happens, we lose something. And that's why we call it our cultural heritage. And France is in mourning this morning.
Yes.
It's true. Daniel Silva, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.